bit of a difference. I think they make a difference to momentum. I think it just helps the general feeling of whether you're up or down. And also, I don't know what Owen thinks, I think it's a bit of an unfair playing field. I think that people are kind of surprised if a celebrity comes out in support of the Tories, so it's an easier pitch for the right, and people are quite shocked often if an artist or a celebrity is against the left. So I think, frankly, the Conservative Party got a bit of an easier time of it.
What about Owen? What do you think?
Well, it depends who the celebrity is. I mean, Noel Gallagher saying he doesn't support Labour anymore is not new. He's been saying this for years and years. I mean, no sooner had he left the back door of Downing Street in '97, he was pretty fed up with what Tony Blair was doing. And then you look at the kind of people that the Tories have got, and I kind of agree with Alex here. They had their Cool Britannia Mark II party last year, and who was invited? Bruce Forsyth, Cilla Black, looking at some of the names, Ronnie Corbett. I mean, these are not people that are going to inspire people to come out and vote particularly.
National treasures. Carolyn Dailey, what do you think?
I think that's right. I think that celebrities can have a huge influence on momentum. I completely agree with that. And I think that they shape the brand, if you can look at it that way, and I think we should, of a political party, of a campaign. And I think it depends which celebrity it is and maybe at which stage of their career they are. Noel Gallagher maybe doesn't have as much influence these days, although he's got a new album out next month, but not as much as he did during the Blair era. So if it were somebody that commanded far more crowds, I think it could have hurt a lot more than maybe.
You mean someone like Russell Brand, perhaps?
Yes, or, well, who has, interesting example, who has his own controversies, but say someone, I'm making this up right now, say someone like Ed Sheeran that everybody loves and is really hot right now, that I think could have been a lot more damaging.
I mean, from a politician's point of view, it's better to be endorsed than not to be endorsed, which is what Russell Brand's done. He basically said, you're all rubbish, don't bother vote.
But then said he might stand himself, having said he doesn't think you should vote at all, which would be an interesting campaign, right? The none of the above campaign. For me, one of the interesting aspects of celebrity endorsement which may make a difference is when celebrities take a position, or well-known figures take a position on policy. So, for example, when James Dyson, who is, I think, quite a respected person in the public eye, said that on balance he favoured coming out of the European Union, that got a lot of attention. People were very surprised that someone in business was willing to take a standpoint like that. That can make a difference and drag an issue up the agenda.
I mean, Carolyn, what do you think about Ant and Dec speaking out? They're not normally people that do, and they do have a huge following. And they are sort of saying things that I think a lot of ordinary voters also say. Is that potentially very damaging? Because they're seen as perhaps being as more authentic than politicians.
I think that's exactly the power of celebrities. They have a unique ability to connect with people, and because people are used to seeing them, they relate to them and they almost feel that they know them. And that's the influence that they have. It's not, I think that there is a discussion about policy issues. Those things get much more technical, but things that really hit home in people's everyday lives, I think, is quite powerful.
What do you think, Owen? I mean, to a certain extent now, we just expect that every party will produce its list of celebrities. Wasn't it even the Liberal Democrats had Colin Firth in the last election? I mean, are we now a bit neutralised and a bit jaded about celebrities?
Well, even had Harry Potter as well, Daniel Radcliffe in the last election. I think we are. I think we realise that celebrities are kind of, you know what, they got vested interests. Who's come out against the mansion tax? Sol Campbell, Mylene Klaas. These are people who, Kelsa Priest, have got mansions. So I think that we do sort of realise now that these celebrities are not just speaking because they've got a view of how they want the country to be better. I mean, Ant and Dec are seen as authentic, sure, but these are guys that have spent 20, 25 years in show business. That's not what a lot of people spend their career doing. So I think there is a little bit of a credibility as you hear these people come out. And you've got to look at all of a sudden, well, they're not speaking from where they were when they were 18. They're talking in their 40s now, and they've got a bit more money, a bit more success. Is that why they're saying these things?
I don't know. I mean, the reason I question that is if they were saying something that didn't chime with people's general perception, then I reckon that would be right. But when they say they have a question not about the Labour Party, but about Ed Miliband specifically, that I think chimes with the main problem a lot of people who might otherwise be inclined to vote Labour have when they think about where they vote at the next election. And it's when that happens, when they hit a kind of the common objection to that party, that's when I think people like Ant and Dec, who actually just feel like they've still got the common touch, that I think is when they cause a problem for politicians. And it is a problem for Miliband, I think.
Carolyn, I mean, Ed Miliband has actually responded to this, saying he's sure he can win Ant and Dec back. Do you think he can? And if so, what should he be doing?
It's a tall order, isn't it? I think he'll be working very, very hard now to show that he can do it and that he has done it. If I had to bet right now, I think that's going to be really tough.
All right, then. I just want to ask the issue, Carolyn, start with you. Who would be the dream endorsement, do you think, for Cameron or indeed for Miliband?
Well, and if we're going for celebrity, and I mean celebrity, nothing to do with politics, just in terms of who wows crowds and big, huge crowds and is beloved. I mentioned earlier, and poor him, I don't know why I'm thinking of him right now, but Ed Sheeran would be the dream endorsement.
What do you reckon, Owen?
Well, I guess you'd want One Direction, but then not many of their fans can vote, so maybe perhaps you wouldn't be pushing too hard to get their endorsement.
I say for the Tory party, J.K. Rowling, unexpected, strong woman, background that might imply of the left, very interested in politics, and her target audience is just coming up to vote for the first time. So I say J.K. Rowling.
They're not going to get her there. I think she's...
Probably not, but you asked me the dream.
Yeah, no, that'd be the dream. I think that'd be a good one. Thank you all
Big dream.
very much indeed. Thank
you all.